Just ahead on the Paige Kornblue Show.
There's things you realize as you grow older, and basically life is just the same thing on a loop. It's the same. I say it's the same show with different costumes. So you come up against the same thing again and again, and you make decisions based on the experiences you've had before.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Paige Kornblue Show. Our guest today is a special one. 2-time Tony Award winner and 5-time Emmy nominee, Alan Cumming. Alan is heading to South Florida this weekend to perform at the studio at Meisner Park in Boca Raton. And there are some tickets left, but not for too long, folks. So grab some while you can. This is his cabaret show. It's called Alan Cumming is Not Acting His Age. It's this Saturday, April 22nd. 2 shows, 6:30 and 9. And we've got Alan with us right now. Alan, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Good, thank you. We've got a double header here in South Florida.
Yes, 2 shows a night. It's like the old days of variety.
Oh, my goodness. Lots of energy for you and lots of prep work. So you're not acting your age these days?
No, I'm not. And I think the whole show is about sort of, getting older and aging, and there's various funny things about that, sad things about that, and just sort of a general discussion on something that we all share, which is aging. But my big sort of basic tenet is that I don't think you should act your age, because my thing is, who decides what age appropriateness is? And I think actually acting your age is saying that you are letting other people other than yourself dictate to you how you should behave. I think that's a terrible thing.
Yes, I think you have normalized so many different things and themes throughout your show for so many of us. For your journey, as you look at aging, looking back and looking forward, is that kind of what you're expressing in this show?
Yes, I mean, I think I talk about the fact that I think we get really mixed messages about aging. I certainly do. I'm 58, and so my next big birthday is 60. I just actually got cast in a film, and for the first time, I'll be a grandfather in a film, which is horrifying. But at the same time as that, everyone said, "Oh, he's like childlike, boyish, puckish." I get all those adjectives as well. So I find the whole notion of suddenly being this great age kind of hilarious. And I think I'm at a good age now where I'm able to do all the things that I like, but I also have wisdom. I realize that, I have people around me who could easily be my children. And I feel a sort of responsibility to not just be their friend, but also to be their mentor, and to sort of, you do have wisdom. There's things you realize as you grow older, and basically life is just the same thing on a loop. It's the same. I say it's the same show with different costumes. So you come up against the same thing again and again, and you make decisions based on the experiences you've had before. So I feel like it's a constant sort of rebooting, like, becoming or playing a grandfather. It's first of all, I think, what the hell? What are they thinking? And I think that could easily be true. I'm 58. I could easily have a grandchild. And I've got to reboot my system to accept that.
I think all of us, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah. We're all sort of, you come up against things that, and just, one of the things I talk about is that as you get older, people die in larger numbers around you. That's just one of the facts of life. Things like that. And, gravity has an effect. All things, but there's other positive things. And another thing I talk about is that, why is it that as a culture we have decided that getting older is the worst thing that could possibly happen to you, and when it's inevitable? And I look at other cultures. Like I premiered this show in Australia, and there the Aboriginal people really value their elders and also the process of aging. So I just wonder why we have not kept that on as well.
Well, I think for those who don't know, you are going to probably get a little bit of everything in this performance. Some humor, some music, right? It's a mix, as we can expect.
It's a smorgasbord. I mean, I think that's what's great about the form of cabaret, why I really love it. I really do love doing these kind of shows because, all my shows have some sort of theme. This one's about aging. The last one was called Legal Immigrant because I'd been a citizen for 10 years of America. And I think you're able to, and I choose songs that reflect things about each topic. But, you can do funny things. The next moment you're being really serious and sort of provocative. The next moment you're making people cry. It's a great sort of variety. It is like a smorgasbord. There's something tonally and with material as well. You can just be completely eclectic, and I really love that. And also as a performer, you have to be incredibly nimble and light, jumping from these different things. And I think in a way, when you do a show like this, that's very personal. It's me. I'm not a character. I'm talking about my experience. In a way, because of that, you connect much more strongly with the audience, and I think that's why I really love it as well. I really feel I've connected with people, and they understand who I am and what I'm about.
Well, and I think a lot of us can relate to this topic because whether we're parents, I'm a parent, some grandparents, if you don't have no children at all, but so many of your friends do, or your friends are young, you sometimes catch yourself in that moment of, where am I, right? Where am I today or in this part of my life? So
I know.
Yeah.
I joke how I've got much, as you get older, you have to get younger friends. I've had to get younger friends because all my old fuddy-duddies don't want to go out anymore. And then I also realized I have better relationship with some of my friends' children and my nieces and nephews than I do with their parents, because I've kind of, they've sort of passed on the baton down to their kids, and I'm more connected with them. It's kind of hilarious. And there's also a funny thing about when people, have kids and they sort of drop out of the social scene for about 18 years, and then they come back. And there's even more rating to go. I just think it's fascinating. But I do love being around young people, and I love, I'm just talking to my assistant, Ethan here, he's 24, and I think it's fascinating to have people who are, when you don't have children, to have people who are young enough to be your children around you, just so you kind of understand what it's like to be alive and that age in these days. It's really important. It's really easy to kind of get stuck in your own bubble.
Alan, in your work, you've highlighted embracing being a hot mess, and I just had to ask you that before you have to run. Kudos to that. We can all relate to that one. How do you work through those hot mess moments?
I mean, I just try to not be hard on myself about it, and I think I try and have a structure in my life that allows me to be a bit of a hot mess sometimes. And also, I think you've got to sort of schedule. I mean, if you want to be, sometimes you want to be a hot mess. I think it's just important to have the space in your life to accommodate all the different facets of yourself. And I think, but also just not to judge yourself too harshly, because other people are more than willing to do that for you.
Thanks for that. We're South Florida. What do you love about this area? What are you excited about coming down here for?
I love how sort of eclectic it is, the style of architecture, and it's sort of got this Spanishy, Latin sort of flavor, and yet I don't know, there's something, it feels really magical to me. It feels, and all the stuff you hear about Florida, outside of Florida, I imagine, and the kind of, the politics that are, some of the sort of scary things that are going on. I don't feel that when I go there. I just feel that, I mean, I guess, people are hungry for something other than the norm, I suppose. But I've always felt really welcomed in Florida, even though I'm a band writer in the States. But I just love that sort of, the combination of all those things. We contain multiples, and I think Florida certainly does.
Well, the sun is shining.
Multitude, not multiples, multitude.
Multitude, yeah. The sun is shining for you. We're ready and can't wait for these shows. Are you on the road with this show for quite a while? What's next for Alan Cumming?
And today I'm about to go and do a show in Pennsylvania, in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and then we come down to we do Boca Raton, and then we do Gainesville, and then then I got to go to Britain and do some stuff. So I do these little spurts of this tour. We kind of go on the road for like a week and then not for a month or so. It's just nice. It's a lovely thing to be able to pick up my band. They're actually downstairs in my living room. We're about to get in a van and go off together. It's a really lovely. It's like it is fun being in a band and having a group of friends that you see for like a little short burst, and then you don't see them for a while. It's a really lovely way to exist, I think.
Well, we love where you exist. You exist on stage, and we're thrilled to have you from Broadway to our stage here in Boca Raton and beyond. We get to see you in all places, so thanks for coming this way.
Thank you very much. I look forward to Saturday.
All right, we do too. Thanks, Alan. We'll see you then.
Okay, bye.
Alan Cumming, everybody, 2-time Tony Award winner and 5-time Emmy nominee. Alan Cumming heading to the studio at Meisner Park in Boca Raton. Again, few tickets left. The show is called Alan Cumming is Not Acting His Age. It's this Saturday, April 22nd. Shows at 6:30 and 9 p.m. We'll have lots of information right on my website. That's pagecornblue.com, Page with an I and Cornblue with a K. So check it out there. Also on Instagram at Page Cornblue. Until next time, everybody. Cheers.